குறை ஒன்றும் இல்லை மறைமூர்த்தி கண்ணா குறை ஒன்றும் இல்லை கண்ணா குறை ஒன்றும் இல்லை கோவிந்தா. We're very, very excited and pleased to have our special guest here today. This is Swathi. She is a farmer. She has a most interesting journey, which I'm sure she will tell us all about. Swathi and I met. We believe that the place existed only to bring us together. So we met at this farmer's market that, there's no other way to put it. It was a very sad and a depressing farmer's market. So it didn't have good clients. There was not much foot traffic, but the organizers, for some reason, said you have to meet each other, and so they introduced us to one another. This is going back about 3 years now, and
4 years.
4 years, yeah.
4 years.
And Swathi and I, we've become great friends. Aruna and Swathi also have spoken many times, but this is the first time we're all actually in a place together doing something this wonderful. So, long story short, I think fate intervened to bring us together, and Swathi has this beautiful, beautiful farm that we've been to, and she puts her heart and soul, blood and sweat, everything into growing these amazing vegetables with a lot of regenerative philosophies, sustainable philosophies, to bring us very unique vegetables and greens and produce. So without further ado, I'll let Swathi introduce herself and tell us what she does and how she came about on this journey.
Hey, this is Swathi, and we have a farm in Rodron, Virginia. We grow diversified veggies, and I can't take credit for some of it, like say pumpkin and sweet potato. We are blessed to have other farmers around us who grow regeneratively, so we partner with them as well. So these I cannot take credit. So this is coming from a partner farm called Sunnyside Conservation. So glad to be here with Aruna and Shri, and I'm glad Aruna is gonna taste the farm fresh veggies that was harvested yesterday. Most of these greens, and then these were harvested in fall. So yeah, we can still consume them and enjoy them.
That's very nice. Swathi, tell us about your journey. How did you come into farming? What's your background?
Background, I was city kid. I do this farming with my husband. We both are city kids. But I think after marriage we garden a lot together. That's when we explored more of growing and being self-sustained. And then before COVID, actually, the year before COVID, we thought we should start something regards to conservation, like sustainability. We didn't know it was farming. We didn't know anything about what we would be doing, but we knew it has to be something around sustainability. So, but COVID kind of pushed it forward. We were able to accelerate our journey. So right 2021, we bought the farm and started setting up the farm from the scratch.
Swathi is also a techie by profession, so she also quit her other life to start this.
It's interesting. A lot of people had setbacks during COVID, right? But it's nice to hear the flip side.
So yeah, we started farm thinking we would just grow vegetables, but then slowly the journey, it's like you meet other like-minded people, and that kind of accelerated. And now we partner, we serve a lot of families in the local, and it's pretty like how do you say,
Very fulfilling.
yeah, very fulfilling to do that.
Swathi, when did you get the idea for the farm? Like, I know you were a software professional, so how do you go from being a software professional to saying I'm going to be a farmer?
Sure, like I think it's the going back to the roots, where we grew up with such a low food waste. Like that's what triggered me, is like when I see the big trash bins with so much food waste, it doesn't make sense, because we grew up with very less trash, and like because the food was coming locally. so we didn't have baggage and everything. So that's what triggered my mind, is like, we need to do something about making the cycle close to home. So I was thinking on more of end to end, like where the food comes from to where the food
How
is
does it
going.
go?
And
And
then
you grew up in the U.S. You were born in India,
India, born
but
in
you
India.
were
All
you grew
my
up
adult life, yeah, all my adult life I was in US.
in the U.S. Yes.
So, and then also the passion towards, like, when you learn about where the food is coming from, and when I'm researching this, it's also like, what am I feeding my own kids? That's the bigger question, is like, I have to do something and then fill that, try to fill that gap. Like, somebody has to take the step.
The step is right. And what? So you said I want to do farming, but what? How did you think about farming? Did you know a lot about farming? Did you have to do a lot of research? Did you have to start from? When I think about farming, I just think about soil and you put a seed or something inside and voila, it grows. But after having worked with you, you know that is not the case. So
Yeah.
what
So,
was what was
like I
that
was saying,
learning?
my husband and I, we started gardening together and we loved it. Like, wherever we stayed in New Jersey or Virginia, any other house, we would create the gardens. The gardens just not to look that's beautiful, but also that feeds us. So I was naive thinking that's enough, but yeah, it's a totally another ball game. So yeah, we just dive right in, thinking we have good vegetable gardening, but like, we had to learn from the scratch. And then I was lucky enough that I came across this. We just got started. We just dived in, and then I started meeting agencies, and then other farmers, and then the education farm, like Fakir Education Farm. So while we are starting our farm, we started the farm, and then we were taking training after that.
So pretty
But-
much learning on the job.
yeah, and that accelerated us even more, because I was doing this full time. Now I'm experimenting 100 plus vegetables. I'm going to the farmers market. I'm meeting the people. They tell me what they like, what they don't like. So yeah, it's a huge learning curve. And then the program, the Fakir Education Farm program, like, that also helped us to become an incubator farmers there. So we could see and learn directly from a farmer, which is like a blessing. And I was like, literally, it was a blessing that we could do that, and that just accelerated us to even more. Like, we were able to do a lot of trial and errors. We were able to dare to lose a lot of things, means like crop losses, or it's all part of learning, because we are growing ethnic South Asian veggies
Here in Virginia.
here in Virginia. The growing times are different, but we were pleasantly, like, surprised and thrilled and excited to grow these veggies through the winter. I'm not saying we're growing tomatoes in the winter, but we're growing some of these in the winter.
That's right.
So I
As
was
you can see, greens
Yeah.
in the middle of winter. So
right, and then found that pumpkins and a lot of root vegetables can overwinter. So we do a last harvest in fall, and that can feed us through the winter, which is uh, it's amazing. Yeah, we should do that in Virginia, Northern Virginia.
Northern Virginia, where it still snowed 2 feet.
Yes.
So a question that I've always wanted to ask you, Swati, and I know we've talked about it in some shape or form, is what challenges did you encounter? There are not many women farmers, as far as I know. There are not many women farmers, let alone a woman farmer of Indian origin. How has that journey or transition affected your identity, the way you see yourself, the way your family sees you, the extended community? Has there been some aha moments that you'd like to share with us?
Yeah, sure. The journey itself is very therapeutic, in the sense, like,
She's a very positive person. She'll never say anything that is.
a lot of questions in life kind of gets answered when you're in the nature, when you're doing physical labor, and you're working with the community, like, you're meeting with your own assistant farmers and the meeting you guys and even the peers. I feel like at this stage of life, it's very therapeutic in the sense like all the questions about life um, gets answered through some channels, and it was that's why I say it's therapeutic and clarifies your brain like what is the right path, what's important in your life. Um, but then challenges are many. One is I didn't know where to start, right? So that's why I just jumped into the ocean and like just get started and then started meeting one after the other. Um, as I have not done this at all, and like uh, it's not easy to get into plug into a conversation. If there's already some farmers who have bond and community and all that, it's hard to go jump in right in and ask the questions as you're one of them or something, right?
Very
It
true.
doesn't come very
Yeah.
easy. I don't want to say I'm reminded I'm minority and like person of color and all, but it's not that easy to just plug in all the time. But I'm grateful that there are programs, not too many, but there are some programs for minority and women owned farms as well, some support there. But yeah, it is a challenge for me because it is mostly male dominated industry. So
Correct. Yeah.
I can see the conversation is easy with my husband, with the other farmers than with me. But I wouldn't say that stopped us anyway because we have so many challenges just on the farm. So those are the very small compared to.
But you know
compared
what?
to
When Shri said the positive energy that you have in you, Swati, that's what has made you this.
Okay.
Because
Very
I feel
resilient.
that, yeah, for this specific thing, you have to have that quality. Because we don't know what's going to happen to the weather, whether we are going to get a good harvest. We have no idea, right?
Yeah.
I mean, everything is belief, right?
Yes.
And unless you have that positive energy and say, oh, something is going to all line up, and yes, it's all going to work out. Very difficult to get into the
That's
the
true. There's
specific.
like almost daily basis
Yeah.
we have challenges.
Yeah. Absolutely.
But then yeah, like I said, there's always like when you harvest and when you deliver that box, when you go to the farmers market and you have those regular customers or new customers, and you can see that you're serving uh, different background, like all ethnicities and all age groups, and even their pets. So, so like the greens powder, people buy a bigger jar for their pets because it's nutrient dense, and I wouldn't know if I didn't meet the
Take
community.
that step. Yeah.
So
Very true. Yeah. And what about the your how has the reception to your journey been with your family and your community? Like, has everybody made the shift to seeing you as a farmer?
It
or-
was a mixed response in the beginning because I think coming from Indian background, it hasn't been looked up majority. They think it's laborious. They think it's nothing beyond it. But this is the most challenging thing I have done in my whole life. It's like how much I have to learn about the soil, biology, physics, chemistry, uh, just to grow certain things, and so much learning curve. Like as if like we're doing PhD in this, people don't understand. Apart from the manual laborious work, there's
There is
more.
so much
There's
studying
so
to
much
do.
more.
understanding the seeds,
Seeds.
where you
Yeah.
get the seeds
Yeah.
from.
And look at it. This is such a beautiful thing, right? Like you not only are doing learning, educating yourself in the agriculture, that whole aspect. You also need to weed through all these people who are trying to sort of, telling you this is that or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Like you have to convince them.
And everybody probably who doubted initially, because nobody knows what it's like, I guess. So they have come around as
That's
well.
wonderful. It's such a wonderful thing. And have they also, um, you know, identified the importance of eating organic and farm fresh food.
Yeah, we share a
You
lot of
see
our
other shift.
stories, and we share our like not just struggles, but like a lot of um, how it's growing locally. It's more sustainable. We share a lot of those. So yeah, I see the change. I see the appreciation.
That's nice.
I see their cravings for the seasonal
veg.
produce.
Because see, you guys make it very easy. Half the time people are wondering, is this a good thing to eat during this spring, summer? Like, you don't have to, right? Because it comes from your farm.
Right.
So we know that, yes, it's grown during the season. So
Right.
it's a good seasonal vegetable to eat.
Yeah,
Yeah.
anything that comes in that box, I treat it as treasure. So
Exactly.
it is because I know how much love and labor has gone
Yeah.
into it, and so you don't have to think. So it goes back to what I think we've always said: once you know you're a farmer, you'll never look at food the same way.
Yeah.
And for me, Swathi made what literally brings that home for me. Because even if I go to a farmer's market, I might buy it from somebody, but just knowing her and knowing her practices, when that box comes home, anything that's in there, we literally cherish it and make sure we consume it. And I get very anxious if anything in that isn't going to even remotely not be consumed. So
yeah, and also from the farm, the important thing again is it's not being transported through multiple states and whatnot, right? So the vegetables actually stay fresher.
They do.
Than buying it from a regular store.
Yes.
That's a huge thing, right? I mean,
Yes.
having such fresh vegetables from the farm. Because we notice, and they also cook very well.
Yes.
Very quickly,
Yeah.
very delicious, very flavorful.
Very fresh. Yeah.
So I think like the main thing is anything that's local and fresh, it just tastes different than anything you can think about. Yeah.
That's what makes food delicious, man. Not anything else. Not too much oil, too much spice.
No.
It's the
It's just
freshness
the
of the
ingredients,
vegetables.
the ingredients that make all the difference. The other question and something that Swati and I have joked about is you obviously walked away from a lot of financial security, and there's a lot of financial investment that you have poured into your farm. I remember the first time I met Swati, she was like, "Oh, this year I made 1 month of my prior year's salary." So it's like what you're earning the prior, like as a software engineer in an entire year of farming. She said, "I made 1 month of salary," and I was like, "Yeah, we're pretty much right there. Maybe we." Like, Aruna and I might make a few $100s for this year. So obviously going away from that comfort or that financial security into this was again a huge leap of faith. How has the venture progressed since the time we spoke of to now? Like, are you still in that early stages? Where would you put yourself on that journey?
Yeah, I think it's farming, just getting a beginner getting started and haven't seen previous generations or didn't grow up with it in itself is a huge challenge, right? But what I'm trying to say is it was huge learning curve just to learn about business. It's not something when you do 9 to 5 and you have that secure job, you're not really thinking a business minded, right? So now I have to wear a business hat. You have to be a marketing and a lot more
Social
hats.
media.
And then so it's like just not just doing learning about farming. Now we are doing learning about business, how it runs, where we have to sell, and like so that was a huge learning curve. Like you said, the year I met you was my second year, and yeah, the revenue was as much as a month of salary, but like my husband says, it's revenue, it's not net profit.
That is true. That is a very important thing. That's just revenue.
It's
Once you
not-
take all the expenses
It's
out, you're
negative.
coming up with if on a good day, maybe on a positive,
Yeah.
a couple of hundred.
So we are in our 5th year. We just started our 5th year. So every year we can see the revenue is increasing. Not the net profits much, because every year we are doing something different.
Yeah,
like
that's
this year we are totally getting into having less food waste. Means like we grow all this varieties of vegetables, herbs, and everything, teas. we don't want anything to go to waste.
Mm.
So we have greens, we have vegetables, we have herbs. We want to preserve it. So the preservation we are doing this year is freeze drying. That's why we have microgreens that doesn't sell immediately. We freeze dry because it's still super nutrient. Like 97% is
Even when you
preserved compared to dehydrating them. So that's what we are doing. Again, we are putting more investment into it. So, but we see how we can fill the
You
gaps.
see a path forward.
Yeah, path forward, and how we can serve the community. Where are the gaps? Unless we are doing this in like 100%, we wouldn't see those patterns like gaps and
So once
everything.
you have all of this in place is when you would really can identify whether your net profit versus revenue versus
It's a long way. Like
It's
even
a long
for us,
way,
it'll
right?
take
Yeah,
a while.
it'll take a
for-
while.
It'll take a while, but I'm happy that last year I had helpers. I was able to pay them, things like that. And
That's a huge.
yeah, I'm kind of blessed to have like my husband who has full-time job, so we can take personal loan, like loan from the personal account and things like that. So, but yeah, the benefit wise, like we have fresh food that we don't have to pay much for groceries, and we have all these resources where like all these connections network where our neighbor farmer gives us fruits or that
Trading,
neighbor
back to
farmer
the trading
exactly that
world.
neighbor farmer gives us pickles and like bread or sourdough. So it's priceless. That
Connection
products
with the
and
community.
yeah, and feeding your family, that
Yes.
is that is priceless. Yeah.